Hello everyone, it's Mr. Kissinger at the Citizenship Academy in Syracuse, New York, and this is 5th grade math, module 4, topic B, review day 1. Today we're going to be learning how to divide whole numbers and estimate the solution. And we're going to have some fractional solutions to these problems. So let's look at our top of our page here. It says list 3 numbers between 0 and 1. So numbers between 0 and 1 are going to be any number that has a smaller number in the numerator than in the denominator. So that could be a number like 1/2 or like 3/5 or even 17/25. Any number that has a smaller numerator than it does a denominator is going to be a number that's less than 1. Next, it says the number 5.6 or 5 6/10 comes between which two whole numbers? That would be between 5 and 6. It's right. It's just a little bit more than 5.5. So we have 5. It's more than 5, but not quite 6. As we're looking here, where it says that this 11 divided by 4. So we're going to start with some problems that look kind of just like division problems, but are really fractions. Fractions are really just division looked at from a different way. So if we take this 11 divided by 4, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger here so that we can do our standard algorithm the long way. 11 inside the box here, 4 here. So 4 goes into, well, it can't go into 1, so we have to go over here. It goes into 11 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. We subtract 8, and we get 3. And we're going to have 3/4 remaining. We're going to end up with 2 3/4 here. And what it wants us to do is place that 11/4 on the number line right down here. So we have 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3. And I have to place 2 3/4 here. Well, I know that 3/4 is, or 2 3/4 is larger than 1. It's greater than 1.5. It's greater than 2. 3/4 is greater than 1/2. 1/2 would be the same as 2/4. So 2 3/4 would be right here, right in between 2.5 and 3. It's not quite 3, but it's definitely more than 2.5, more than 2 2/4. So I'll put it right here, 2 3/4, which is also 11/4. If we made all these into fourths, we would see that 2.5 is 10/4, and 3 is 12/4. So it makes sense that it's right in the middle here at 11/4. Also known as 2 3/4. We're going to practice the same thing with a few more number lines here. Let's look at number 1. It says 18 divided by 5. So when we divide 18 by 5, well, 5 goes into 18 3 times, so it goes 15. When we subtract 15 from 18, we're going to be left with 3. And we're going to end up with 3 3/5. And our number line here, it goes 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5. 3 3/5 will be more than 3. 3/5, we have to determine, is that more or less than 1/2? Well, looking at 3/5, 3 is more than half of 5. So 3/5 would be greater than 1/2. So 3/5 is right here in between 3.5 and 4. So this would be, and it's asking us to, it says place the solution on the number line. So we are going to use 3 3/5. I wasn't sure if it wanted us to place our original fraction on the number line there, or if it wanted us to place our answer, but it does say to place the solution on the number line. So we have 3 3/5, which is going to be right there between 3.5 and 4. And realistically, it probably would be a little bit closer to 3.5, because 3 and it would be 3 5/10 if we changed all these over to tenths. 3 5/10, and then 3/5 is the same as 6/10. So it'd be like just one little tenth past the 3.5 there. Looking at number 2, they changed from this, which is more of a long division type division symbol there, and they changed it over to a fraction. So we have 50/7. We're going to do the same thing, or we're going to divide 50 by 7. I know that 7 goes into 50 7 times. 7 times 7 is 49, which is really close to 50. When I subtract, I have 1 left over, 1/7. So if I have 7 1/7, the whole point of this exercise is to estimate. We don't necessarily need to find a common denominator and find out exactly where it would be on the number line. We're just estimating where we think it would be. And between 7 and 8, imagine if we broke this up into 7. So we know it's greater than 7. It's 7 plus 1/7 past there. If we broke this number line into 7 pieces, so if we had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I guess 8 where 8 is there would be 7/7. So it would be spread out a little bit more than that. We would have 7/7 altogether here, and 7 1/7 would be like right here, right close to 7. But the whole idea is to find out which two numbers it's going to fall between. And we'll go a little bit further than that and illustrate that it would be closer to the 7 than it would be to the 7.5, because it would just be 1/7 past. So we're going to put 7 1/7 right here on our number line. Number 3, we have 46 divided by 6. So we have 46 divided by 6. So I'm thinking 6 times 8 is pretty close. 6 times 8 is 48, but that's too much. So 6 times 7, well, that's 42. So let's go with 6 times 7. 42. We subtract 46 minus 42, and we get 4. And we get 7 4/6. Now 7 4/6 is the same as 7 2/3, but we can keep it sixths for estimation. That doesn't matter. We can do it either way. And we want to figure out if 7 4/6. We want to figure out where that's going to fall on this number line. So we have 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5. Well, we know it's going to fall between 7 and 8 because it's 7 plus a fraction that's less than 1. And so next we have to determine if it's going to be before this 7.5 or if it'll be after the 7.5. And 4 is more than half of 6. 3/6 would give me 7.5. So I know it's going to be past 7.5, between 7.5 and 8, somewhere right around here. We look at that fraction again, 4/6, just to clarify what I'm saying here. I'm looking at this number and I'm saying, well, that's more than half of 6. So it must be larger than a fraction equivalent to 1/2. 6 is easy because 6 is, I have an even denominator, so I could actually find a number that would be equivalent to 1/2, which would be 3/6, and I can see easily that 4/6 is greater than 3/6. So I'm going to put that right here. I have 7 and 4/6. All right, and then lastly we have number 4 here. It's 74/4. So I'm going to take 74, divide it by 4. So 4 goes into 7. That'll go into 7 once. Subtract 7 minus 4 is 3. Bring down my 4. How many times does 7 go into 34? Well, 7, or how many times, excuse me, 4 go into 34? 4 will go into 32 8 times. And that's really close, but not quite 34. So we'll subtract 32. We'll end up with 2/4 left over. Now 2/4 is a nice fraction to have as part of my mixed number here, because 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2. So I have 18, and 2/4 is 1/2 because 2 is half of 4. So right here at 18.5, I can put, well, it'll be 18.5. That's our answer. I'll keep it 2/4 because that's what we did up top there. So 18 and 2/4 is the same as 18 and 1/2. All right. So that's all the time we're going to have for today. I think we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing everybody next time.